Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. I'm super excited about this project because I'm going to be making a skateboard for the Braille Skateboarding YouTube channel. If you've searched for a skateboarding video on YouTube, I'm sure you've come across a Braille skateboarding video at some point or another. They're a group of great guys that have been bringing a lot of good publicity to the skateboarding world. And they do a segment called You Make It, We Skate It, where the viewers send in a bunch of boards that they've made either by hand or putting trucks and wheels on just random items. So I saw this and got inspired to make my board, but I'm going to make my board out of other broken skateboards. So getting started, I cut one board in half and I'm using that as a template, and you'll see that in the top shot. Using that template, then I traced that on all the broken skateboards that I had, and then I just cut a bunch of strips out. Once I had them roughly cut out, I turned them on their side 90 degrees and then I started gluing them together that way so that the plywood edges would be exposed on the top and the bottom of the board, and that'll give a pretty cool design once it's all together. And I started in pairs, just gluing two of them together, and then I built off of those two, and it kind of gets repetitive, so I cut a lot of the shots out of this, but you kind of get the point. After roughly cutting the outline with the jigsaw, I brought it outside and put a 60 grit pad in my angle grinder and worked on flattening the board. I brought it outside because, as you could see, it got really messy, and I just worked on flattening it to the best I could out here, and then I used some hand planes back in the shop to get it really perfectly flat. So right now the board is still a little too thick, so I'm using the bottom edge that I already flattened, and I'm offsetting that the thickness of a normal skateboard, and I just drew a line to that mark, and then I'm going to cut away the material on the top of the board down to that line, and that's how I'll get the thickness of the skateboard that I need. And this is kind of a barbaric way of doing it, but I just put a straight bit in a router and slowly cut down to that line. And I just worked it across the whole board, and then I sanded it. In attempting to make this board as strong as possible, I filled in some of the gaps with fiberglass resin, and then I put a sheet of fiberglass over the whole top of the board, and that really just stiffened it all up and just reassured that all the joints would hold together. So after a whole lot of sanding, I got the board completely smooth, and then I worked on putting the trucks in. I marked the holes, drilled them out, and then I put a coat of boiled linseed oil and a few coats of polyurethane over the whole board. And here it is all done. I sanded with 400 grit in between each layer of polyurethane, and that made the finish pretty much flawless. I cannot tell you guys enough how much I love this board. I think the whole look of it is so sick, and it was absolutely terrible packaging this up and sending it away. But I know it's going to some good guys, so I can't wait for their video to watch them skate it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out some of my other videos. You might like those as well. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.